What's up guys, Tech and Tyler, and today's video is going to be about the other light that I had gotten recently with the 1964 General Electric NEMA head that I showed in the last video. And the story, just to kind of catch it up for anybody watching this who hasn't seen the other video, is I got two older NEMA heads recently that came from up the road from where I live, and they've been there the entire time that I've been in this house, my whole life since I've been born that I can remember. And come to find out, the light that I showed in the last video was from 1964, and that's super cool of the age of it and the fact that it still works and there's nothing wrong with it besides it's super loud. But the other light that I got was right next to it pretty much, so it's like maybe not even 100 feet difference, or about 100 feet apart from each other, where the first light I showed was the first light that I made the video of showing, the GE one, was the first one, and then this one is now the second one, and this was the one that was down a little bit farther from it. And the light that I got was this one right here. Now, I'm not sure of the age of it. I'm definitely going to say it's 60s as well, considering that the other one is 60s and has been up there as long as I've known them to be up there my whole life, like I said. So this one is got to be from at least the 60s as well. Somebody in the comments can probably help me and tell me how old it is, but I'm going to say it's from the 60s also, because this light it worked, but it would go on and off a whole bunch. So it would randomly come on, and then it would stay on for, could be days, could be a couple months, and then it would just go out. And then it would do the same thing, you know, could be a couple of days, couple months, and then it would go out. It was day burning all day long. And the photocell that I had with it was a pretty cool old one. I can't remember where I put it at the moment, or I'd show it, but I know that it kind of works, but then kind of doesn't work. And the other photo eye also, actually no, I got one photo eye with them, and it might have been for the other one. This one did not have the photo eye on it, because the guy who dropped them off to me took the bulbs and the photo eyes and stuff off of them. So I kind of wish I would have had the photo eye with this one, but I can't remember if it was for the other one or this one. But I do have the original bulb for this one though, which is super cool, because the guy, when he dropped it off, he dropped me off two bulbs, and one of them was the original one for this one, or at least I'm thinking it's the original one for it. But every time it would be on, it was super dim. Like, it would light the area up a little bit, but it was very dim. So the bulb that's in it has a lot of hours on it, and the arc tube in it is very black, and you can't even shine a light through it to see it. And when it turns on, it gets hot fast too. So it's very well used, but it still does work, which is really cool. So for this video, I'm going to put the original bulb in it just to show how dark and green it looks on camera. Even though it's a frosted one, it's got that green to it, like that green look to it, as you would use like a clear mercury vapor bulb on a camera, because of just how worn out and dim it is. But anyway though, but this is the other light. Like I said, I'm going to say it's from the 60s, and a couple of reasons why I say that is because this is a Line Materials NEMA head. This is a 175 watt mercury vapor, all fully original. It has the original lens on it, or refractor, with the logo on it here and the other logo up here. And this isn't just an ordinary refractor. This is a glass one, and boy is it heavy, and it's also really thick too, and it is in pristine condition. I need to clean it still, but besides that, it's in immaculate shape. Besides, there's two little chips on the side right here that are kind of sharp. I think that was due to the guy taking it down and putting it in his truck, kind of bumped something and kind of broke tiny little chips off of it. But besides that, it works. It's fantastic condition, which is really awesome the fact that this did not ever get broken, and it's also really funny because I never knew this was glass anyway. As many times as I would pass by there, I never realized it was glass. Never did ever did I realize it was glass. So it makes sense now, after all this time, why it never looked, dingy or yellow or had a crack in it or anything like that, is because it was in really good condition and it was never touched because of the location it was at. So if I take this off of here, I will show you how thick the lens actually is, if I can get it off without breaking it. So here's the logo and the type number that's on it. And as you can see, this thing is thick. It is super thick, this glass. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, it does have a crack in it, unfortunately. I never realized that it had a crack. I thought it was fine, but no, it's got a crack going straight down it right here all the way up, which is very unfortunate. I'm surprised I didn't even realize that till now. So that's a bummer. That must have happened when he took it off of the pole and put it in his truck, because that crack definitely does not look old. It looks pretty fresh, but that's all right. That's not a huge deal. As long as I'm careful with it and don't bump it around or drop it, it'll be all right. I might even try to maybe put some super glue on it, just kind of help enforce the crack. But yeah, I didn't realize it was I didn't realize it was cracked until now, that's a bummer. But hey, it's still intact, so that's all that matters, and it's original, so that's cool. But here's the NEMA head though. Now I have another NEMA head just like this, except that one is 100 watt, and I actually got that from a guy that I know in a trade. He didn't realize that it was 100 watt until I took it apart, and it said on the ballast that it was stamped 100 watt, but it's the exact same head and assembly setup with this socket that has no ceramic around it, just a bare metal socket, and all the terminal connections that are on it. And it's got the same like ballast setup at the same horizontal positioning on the bracket and everything. And it's one of those ones where it's the two screws in the very top of the head set up where you loosen them and you turn the whole ballast and the whole assembly comes out. So I technically have two of these now, one that's 100 watt and then this one that's 175 watt. Now this one is, like I said, in really good condition too. If I turn it, and then I will take the camera off the tripod to show it. But if you look inside of it, the wiring looks fantastic. It's not cracked, falling apart, nothing like that. It still has all of its little metal crimp tags on it. The metal for the copper connections or anything right there is a little corroded, but it's not overall not too bad. It still has all the little ceramic pieces all over it and everything. Ballast does have some rust on it, but overall it's in really good condition, which is awesome. And this little bracket on it is unique too. The other one I believe has the same thing as this for the arm, but I'm not too sure. But you can flip it over for the different sizes, which is kind of cool. So the one size is, I believe, for the bigger, and the other size is for I believe these poles are 1.25 inches, something like that. So I think it's designed to where you can put it on the 2-inch arms, I believe. And then if I flip it over top here, we can see it has one of these removable photo eye sockets. This one's made by, looks like P&S or something like that. But I've always liked NEMA heads with these style photo eyes because you can take the whole assembly off and replace it or do whatever to it, so it's really unique. And then the slip fitter for the arm is cool because I like how the if I flip it over on this way, I like how the sides are flat to put a level on it like it says there. So it's very, very cool, very, very unique. And I'm also very happy at the fact that when he took it down, none of these bolts stripped out or broke off, so that's awesome. So let me put you back in the tripod, and I will zoom in a little bit here. So what we were going to do is now we are going to test it and show it working. So I have my bypass cap that will just go on the top here, and then the bulb that I believe was the original one is this one right here, because this one is I gave it like a quick wipe off of just some of like the heavy dirt on it because it's been in that fixture for so long. But this one is the one with the super dark arc tube. And then I also got this one, which I believe is the exact same bulb. It's an old Phillips bulb, or at least the bulb that was in this fixture was an old Phillips bulb. So I'm not sure if this bulb is original or not, but with how dark the arc tube is, it definitely tells me that it's old, so it might be original. But I don't know if this etch that's on it has been around for as long as it has for Phillips. But then again, being a Phillips bulb and this being from the 60s, this light possibly, I don't think this is the original bulb, but it's definitely well used. But if you look very carefully on the right side there on the bulb, you can faintly see the etch still on it, but it says Phillips 175 watt. The other bulb I believe is a Phillips bulb as well, but there's no etching on it, unfortunately. But even if you look inside of the bulb, you could see very much how dark that is. The arc tube very black in there, but this one still actually has a little bit of clearness into the bulb, whereas this one is just solid black pretty much in this bulb. And if you even look at the mogul bases on it, you can tell this one is way dirtier than this one, so this one's definitely the one that's been used the most. So like I said, I'm not sure how old this bulb is, I'm not sure how old this fixture is, but this was the bulb that came with it though. So I was hoping it was going to be something older, but it was probably replaced at some point in the maybe 80s, 90s, possibly with that etch design, 70s even, not too sure. But like I said, for all I know, this fixture could be, not 60s, but I believe it's 60s just because of this setup for the contact, for the connections and the socket and everything like that, because you don't see too many fixtures that are like this that have this setup unless it's old incandescent fixtures. So I definitely am going to say it's somewhere in the 60s, but I know somebody in the comments will help me figure out the date to it, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to get the power hooked up onto it now, and we will get it turned on and tested, and you'll be able to hear how quiet this fixture is actually. This fixture is not loud compared to the other one, which is surprising for how old it is. It's actually really quiet. So this one won't be super noisy. But we get to see it work and see the quietness of it. So let me connect power to it and I will bring you back. Okay, so now we have power connected to it. So I will go ahead and turn it on in 1 second. Because another little interesting fact about this light is, like I said, the fact that the age of it, the quietness of it, and everything like that, the fact that it was day burning for as long as it was, and stuff like that. The other interesting fact that I forgot to mention about this before we turn on real quick is even though it was day burning, it would randomly cut off and then cut on, cut off and cut on. But the bulb itself isn't what's doing that. It wasn't the fact that it was like cycling or anything like that, or shutting off on and off. Like it would stay on for months or weeks, and then it would just randomly turn off, and then it would come back on out of nowhere, and it would be out for months too, or weeks, or however long it wanted. It was, however long it wanted to, the way it was acting. And it was all down to the photo eye, I believe, actually, because I'm guessing the photo eye worked, but then didn't work. Worked, and then didn't work. So it was in and out randomly, which was interesting. But when I got the photo eye, I heard a bunch of stuff moving inside of it, so there's a lot of junk and probably arcing dust and chunks of metal in it and stuff like that from over the years of everything being carboned up. So, but this light would be off for a long time and then on for a long time. So that's another crazy fact of how quiet this is. I'm surprised in the fact that it even still works. I thought the light had probably died, but no, it was just the fact that the photo eye was causing the whole issue, because if I turn it on here now, you can hear it's actually pretty quiet. It's not that loud at all. It's got a really nice hum to it. Nowhere close to as loud as that other one. That other one was really loud. This one just has a nice, 60 hertz hum to it. Not crazy loud, so lets me know that the coils in it at least are good. But I don't know if you can tell, but on camera how bright this is. See how it's got the greenish tint, on it? That's because of how black the arc tube is, and it is dim. Like already right now as it is, looking at it, it is dim. It's super greenish bluish coming off of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn the light out. Let me angle the camera a little bit. But with the light out, it might look a little brighter, on the video, but in person it's pretty dim. Which, like I said, at nighttime when this was running, it was already quite dim. And it being high up on that pole there, it barely put out any light. Like, maybe just enough to where you can kind of see for, like, walking in that area, or maybe your shadow just a little bit. But besides that, it was dim. And already it's only been like a minute, and this bulb is already getting quite warm. Like, it's not hot to where it's going to burn you, but it's already quite warm. And I know these bulbs get hot fast, but this one gets hot quick. So, but if I try to edit it, there we go. If I kind of dim it down a little bit, you can really see the difference in the color temperature there. But what I'm seeing in person is probably about there, with messing around with the brightness settings on there. It's not that bright. It's getting brighter. Like, it definitely puts out enough light, like I said, you can see to walk around, but like besides that, it's pretty dim. So if I turn this up a little bit more, it's probably a little too bright. We get mostly about, I'm gonna say right there. That's about as close as I can get it to looking on camera as it is in person. And this bulb is already at almost full brightness. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and let it warm up. So I will bring you back as soon as it gets to peak brightness here, and when it fully warms up. Alrighty, and now we are at full brightness, which wasn't really much at all. Like I said, this bulb in this fixture is so dim. Like, it lights up the area here pretty good, and it lights up behind me okay. I can see it shining on the cinder block wall, and I can see the shadow of my hand in it, but it's dim. Like, even if this was high up, like in my shop here, this would not light the area up enough like one of my fluorescent lights would. That's how dim this is. Like, a 2-bulbed F40 T12 fluorescent light is brighter than this bulb, which is crazy to think that, because these bulbs are supposed to put out about almost like 8,000 lumens, 7,000 something lumens, 7,800 I believe, possibly. Whereas a fluorescent tube puts out about, depending on what kind you buy, they can put out anything between 2,700 to 3,000 lumens per bulb each. So yeah, so one of my fluorescent lights in my shop is brighter than this bulb here, which is nuts. That definitely tells you the span of its life running for as many years as it has, and all day with the day burning photocell in it. But I mean, it works though, which is awesome. That's why I wanted the bulb that came with it, because of the fact of how dim it was, because I think it's always super cool to have these old original bulbs that came with fixtures, especially with how much usage has been on them. So I have bulbs that are even dimmer than this one, and this is, not crazy dim, but it's pretty dim. But I have bulbs dimmer than that with a lot of hours on it. Um, so yeah, I think it's just super neat, the greenish white color that these produce of their age. Uh, it calmed down, but it's starting to hum a little bit. I don't know if you can hear the difference in the hum, but it got a little louder, but not much louder at all. It's still pretty quiet compared to that other one, and it's, not loud at all. I don't have to raise my voice or nothing. It's just a nice hum, like I've already said. But yeah, the fixture works flawlessly. Fantastic. So my theory was the photo eye the whole time is what's been causing it to not work properly, because the bulb works fine, the nema head works fine, ballast, everything in the nema head works fine. So overall, super cool. I'm gonna flip the light back on real quick. And there's an example of, how bright these are compared to this light here. And we'll go ahead and shut her down. But yeah, this fixture overall though is, like I said, really good condition, works really well, no issues about it. I'm super happy that I got this light. Same with that other one that I made the video on, because of the fact that they've been up there since I was a kid, and I finally got them after all these years from having to be, thrown away and recycled or scrapped or destroyed. I can preserve them and keep them, and, have a story behind them of the fact that, I've looked at these lights and passed by them my whole life, and now I finally own them in my collection. So that's awesome. So yeah, just wanted to make this video about the second light that I got with that other one and talk a little bit about it. So if anybody in the comments knows the age of this nema head and the age possibly of when they started doing the design of the etch on these older Philips bulbs, that'd be great. I would highly appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And thank you for watching, showing this off. And if you have any questions, comments, just let me know. And yeah, overall, like I said, really happy about this. I know I'm rambling, so thank you for watching. Until next time, thank you.